Okay, so now it's time to start talking about breaking some old agreements that we have. So you might not have received some positive thoughts or positive programming in the past, but it is not too late and you can take over and you can definitely move forward from a better place from here. And believe it or not, it's actually a bit better this way because creating this for yourself is a lot more powerful than hearing it from others. And this is because once you know and you really embody these powerful truths about yourself, there is nobody that can ever take them away from you, like ever. This is always something that will be within you once you embody it. And so, truly, from this day forward, you don't have to believe any of these old thoughts. They're going to come up. They're still going to come naturally, but you can challenge them every single time. You don't have to entertain them as the truth anymore. So, to ditch the old thoughts, to get rid of the old ones, you need to basically erase and replace. So you have to create the new thoughts to place over the old ones. And you also have to believe it, right? So the new thought that you're replacing this old thought with, it has to be something within your scope of belief. You can't just like make up some kind of magical thought about yourself that your brain can't connect to because the neural pathway, it's too far of a jump and it will not make that connection. So we'll talk a little bit more about how to do that in a little bit. And then also you have to kind of keep an eye out for positive evidence, right? So your brain is going to find what you tell it to look for. And one way that you know that this is true is I feel like something that we've all experienced is that either when you are looking to purchase a new car or you just did, or for some reason that certain kind of car is on your mind, suddenly you start seeing it everywhere. And it's not because that car has just suddenly existed, right? And it had always been there for sure. Like you've always actually been having that same car in your realm, but you're just noticing it more because it's in your attention. You're not even necessarily looking for it. You're like, oh, I wish I could find this many cars today. That's not how it works. Your brain is just naturally wired to pay attention to things that you have in recognition already. So when you are trying to shift, right? Here's some examples of what you can use. So when you're feeling like you're bad at something, you can tell yourself that, instead of saying, oh, I'm terrible at this, you can say, I'm doing the best I can, or I like doing this. So I'm doing the best I can means like I am working on it. I'm not just submitted to the idea that I'm terrible about this and I just will never be good. It says that you're working on it. You have a more positive vibe to it. Or I like doing this means you're going to find more enjoyment in it. And usually when you find something enjoyable about what you're doing, then it's easier to tie a more positive connection to it, right? So some example that I do hear a lot of women say, unfortunately, is I'm a bad mom. And there's a lot of people that think that because they might do things that they regret, or, maybe they yell too much, or they, feel like because they're not giving their kids all the things that their kids want, they feel like a bad mom. But it's not a helpful thought and it's very, very defeating. And so if you could change that to, I'm doing the best I can, no parent is perfect. I'm doing what I can with the information that I have. And it's okay to tell your kids that you're working on it, like that you're trying to do the best that you can, because I think it's a really powerful example for them as they're growing and learning as well, that they don't have to submit to just being, bad at something or whatever, that they can also work on things and they can do the best that they can. You also might be trying to follow maybe some old rules that aren't really helping you, right? So maybe your parents taught you or somebody taught you how to do something in a way that they were very solid with, but actually you don't really like it. You want to do it a different way, but you feel like these are the rules and this is the way you were taught. You can try new ways, right? So that's one of the thoughts. I can try new ways to do things, and I like experimenting with what works best for me. I think that's a really powerful thought to put in place. You also might be just judging yourself for something that is literally just who you are. And in some ways, you can just more embrace yourself rather than trying to change it. And I think that's going to be, something that this is your own knowing of yourself. You have to dig a little bit deeper inside to know if this is something that you want to accept or something that you want to continue to work on. But some of our behaviors are just very innate, like it's exactly how we handle certain things. So for an example, I want to, for me personally, is that like a thought that I used to have is I am so disorganized and I feel really bad about that. And like my schedule is messy, my desk is messy, things are chaotic and I want to be more organized. And you can put in, and just say like, you could do I'm doing the best I can. I like to be organized and I could try to put those thoughts in, but I've realized over time, over and over again, that really I don't mind a little bit of chaos, right? I actually kind of work better that way and I like it that way. So in discovering that, that's a part of me that I'm just accepting and now I'm actually embracing it and it's actually creating better results because I'm not trying to fight with it anymore. So it's just sometimes easier to accept it than to fight against it. So that's it for this one. There's a worksheet available, the breaking old agreements. So that's kind of writing a list of the negative thoughts you'd like to shift and then kind of coming up with some new ideas that you could maybe replace them with some new thoughts. And I would love for you to come into the community and ask for support or, share with us with what some of your new observations are and just get the conversation started. All right. We'll see you in the next video. Okay, so now it's time to start talking